The aggressive switch into Blazikin and the opponent switches out, banking a seed bomb, sending out Vigaroth. Well, this opponent's about to be sad because Blazikin can shield once farm all the way down. Trevenant used to having its own way, winning CMP. However, you don't beat Blazikin. GG's and thanks for playing. So, welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. Sunshine Cup, a very interesting meta. Shout out to two fantastic content creators, Human Catcherbug and Nerds Rising. They're both running a flyer and two things that are normal types using counter in the back. So this brings you to my team. This is the anti-meta team looking to hunt people using basic BBML, and let me tell you, it works fantastically. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we see Shadow Swampert in the lead. All three of my Pokemon will be getting one shot by a Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannons come thick and fast, takes 5 mud shots, then 4 to each of them. So how I like to play is I stay in with the Hippo, shield once, farm up to 3 extra Ice Fangs and throw the Rock Weather Ball. The Swampert is likely to shield as they could be fearful of the Body Slam at this stage. I'm just going to allow the Hippo to go down, send out Blazikin. The opponent not wanting to get farmed down, send out Vigaroth. This is a really easy one shield and farm all the way down. Vigaroth might be spammy, but it's not going to make the second move. We are all shields down. The opponent sends back out Swampert. I commit to the counter farm down. The opponent's final Pokemon is their own Blazikin. I fire off the Blaze Kick during the final shield. Switch out into Donphan. The opponent is going to win. Charge move priority Donphan. Not the bulkiest, but as the opponent is running the poor man's version, a non-shadow Blazikin, we survive, make the Body Slam, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle. When you build a team, GBL has a funny way of showing you something that you really don't want to see. We see another Swampert, so we're going to do the exact same thing. I always throw 3 Ice Fangs as Swampert will be winning CMP. This opponent actually switches out into Steelix and I answer with Blazikin. Blazikin is going to be taken super effective from the Psychic Fangs. However, we do survive one. We're going to get off our Blaze Kicks. We're either going to get Switch or get our shield back. Either one's fine for me. The opponent gives up the shield. They're now in the yellow. And I really like the spot I'm in. I'm going to wait out my full timer, come in with Donphan and commit completely to the counter farm down. Again, the opponent just throws the Psychic Fangs. Not getting same type attack bonus. We're not taking super effective. That doesn't do a lot. We've now got a huge running start on energy. If Swampert does return, we're going to throw 3 and the Body Slam. The opponent actually looks to make a catch on the Galarian Stunfisk. They don't make a catch. We full send the Earthquake, returning Stunfisk to their Pokeball. Back out comes Swampert. They fire off the Hydro Cannon. I'm just going to allow Donphan to go down. We're going to save our shield for the Hippo, and we're going to be able to Ice Fang farm down to the finish. Moving on to the next one. This time we see Steelix in the lead. I'm out here looking to see a flyer in the lead, and we're 0-3. I say switch into Donphan, and the opponent answers with Swampert. Nice to see Swampert here. Donphan is really spammy. The opponent lets go of the Body Slam. They actually look to farm up too much energy. If you're in this matchup, just spam the Body Slam as soon as you get it against Swampert, as Donphan actually wins CMP. The opponent shielded up. I can also match shields. We're going to be able to counter farm all the way down, so we're now in a great spot. We've took back switch. I'm going to look to commit to the Earthquake, forcing the opponent to throw energy. They throw the Psychic Fangs. We survive. I'm not going to reach the Earthquake, so I'm going to take some chip damage with the Body Slam. Donphan hits pretty hard. All chip damage is welcome. Even though I've won back switch, I don't want to use my final shield on a Psychic Fang, so I send back out the Hippo, and it was a great call as this Blazikin in the back. The opponent choosing to throw a charge move. That's going to allow me to shield once, counter all the way down. I'm not going to throw a charge move. That gets me a Simul KO. Back out comes Steelix. They can throw whatever they like. This isn't an Earthquake. They fire off the Psychic Fangs. There's absolutely nothing to the Hippo. We Ice Fang down, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's. Moving on to the next one. Finally, we see Noctowl in the lead. I'm looking top right, mindful the opponent's probably going to switch out. However, this opponent chooses to stay in. I'm pretty happy with that situation. They fire off the Sky Attack. Hippo tanks that fairly well at over farm. Fire off the Rock type Weather Ball. This wouldn't knock out, but would get knocked out super low. The opponent looking to farm us all the way down. That's a huge misplay. We make the second Rock type Weather Ball. The opponent commits both shields. So they have actually one lead at the cost of 2 shields. I'm going to come into Donphan. We can tank one move, not particularly well, but we do tank it. They are going to make one more Sky Attack. I am going to shield this one up as Donphan's super spammy and the opponent's got no shields. The opponent sends out Trevenant and I send out Blazikin. The opponent did bank a Seed Bomb, then send out Vigaroth. However, this is going to give me the easiest win con of my life. We're going to shield once, farm all the way down. We're going to leave with the Brave Bird. Blazikin actually has a massive attack stat. I think it's like 144 versus 127. Brave Bird to their face. Get wrecked, trainer. When shields are down, Shadow Blazikin goes to town. Moving on to the next battle, we see Garchomp in the lead. The opponent sees we're on Ice Fang. They stay in, bank a Sand Tomb, and then switch out into a Bomber Snow. I'm going to look to get myself early shield advantage, and the opponent does shield up the weather. We can now send out Blazikin. Blazikin can tank absolutely everything as it is resisted. However, you can see we are not bulky. That does a lot of damage. However, we do manage to counter farm all the way down. If the opponent sends back out Garchomp, I'm just going to shield this move up, counter farm down, and then dump the energy at whatever they have in the back. The opponent's final Pokemon is Girafarig. Really fun pick. However, we draw the final shield with the Blaze Kick, and this game should be over. I'm going to send out Donphan. The opponent reaches Psychic Fangs. I'm just going to shield this up, get my move off, and that is pretty much going to be all she wrote. Much like our Blazikin, Shadow Giraffe has 0 bulk, and the Body Slam absolutely returns them to the Pokeball. Moving on to the next battle, we see Vigaroth in the lead. This time I choose to save switch into Blazikin, and the opponent sends out Swampert. We throw on CMP. Blazikin pretty much beats everything. The opponent actually lets that go, and thanks opponent. This is going to allow Blazikin to be a Swampert counter. Confirm we counter farm all the way down. If they return with Vigaroth, Vigaroth is going to be returning that shield on the Blaze Kick. The opponent actually sends out Diggersby. Again, I play 2 CMP. If you're going to use this squishy Pokemon, you want to CMP absolutely everything. The opponent didn't shield the Blaze Kick. They fire off the Fire Punch. We can allow Blazikin to go down. We send in the Hippo. They send out Vigaroth. We answer with Donphan, and this game's over. The opponent can save them shields for next season. Moving on to the next one. Again, we see Vigaroth in the lead. I actually like to save switch into Donphan. I've got no idea why I sent Blazikin out last time. Probably because I was playing these battles at like 3 in the morning. So I was a bit rusty. The opponent answers my Donphan save switch with Gliscor. Night Slash actually isn't going to KO Donphan, already at the second Body Slam. So again, this team's so spammy, we get ourselves shield advantage in the mid game, and that's pretty much all Blazikin needs to sweep back lines. We're about to see some shadow on shadow crime. Double super effective Ice Fangs are absolutely going to eat this Gliscor. We're just going to tank the Night Slash. It actually does quite a lot when it's shadow on shadow. I'm spamming out into Blazikin, looking to sweep. What has the opponent got? They send back out Vigaroth. We are going to shield up the Body Slam. We've got a running start. It's all going to depend on what they've got in the back. The opponent's final Pokemon is knocked out, and you can see they're not in Blaze Kick range. I probably can't Ice Fang farm this all the way down as they are too healthy. So I'm going to look to get off the back-to-back Blaze Kicks, but I think I'm just going to lose. The opponent probably going to shield the first. The second will knock out, but then Vigaroth is going to be too spammy for our Hippo. Ice Fang, not the best move at generating energy. The opponent comes in, get the counter, they're 4 away, and I'm 5 away. So the opponent is going to outpace, and we're going to take a loss. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Piloswine in the lead. I say switch into Donphan, and the opponent sends out Trevenant. Yikes. I commit to the Earthquake, looking to force the opponent to throw. If I throw a double resisted Body Slam, they're just going to Shadow Claw farm me all the way down. This Trevenant has took absolutely no damage, so this is rough. I send out the Hippo, the Ice Fangs tearing through this opponent. They actually get really greedy, play into CMP, so I am going to shield this up, get off the Rock-type Weather Ball. If the opponent shields this, I'm just going to allow myself to go down. The opponent actually takes shield advantage, and that works for me. Piloswine, not going to appreciate these Ice Fangs. I've already got them into the yellow. I'm going to allow this to go down and put all my faith in Blazikin. Blazikin with 1 shield. The opponent sends out Breloom. Can we counter farm them down? Yes, we can. We're so low. Back out comes Piloswine, but Blazikin still sweeps. Let's go. Moving on to the next battle, we see Unova Stunfisk in the lead. A great lead for our Hippo. However, the problem with this is, if you're using Unova Stunfisk in the lead, you're likely going to have a Swampert answer in the back, which could mean Trevenant. So I'm going to stay in for a while. We can tank 1 more move, and now I'm going to have to pivot. The opponent fires off the second Mud Bomb. I send out Donphan. The opponent sends out Trevenant again. I'm going to commit to the Earthquake. The opponent going to throw their energy. Donphan, thanks buddy. We get absolutely wrecked by the Seed Bomb. However, the opponent did throw their energy immediately. So we can come back in with the Hippo. I'm going to start spamming out rock-type weather balls. The opponent shields the first. We outpace to the second. This isn't going to knock out, but is going to leave them super low. The opponent chooses to shield again. They now Shadow Claw farm us all the way down. This is really rough. I've got absolutely 1,000,000% faith in saying they're going to bait me. However, Blazikin doesn't want to tank any damage. They fire off the seed bomb. We shield it up. We CMP to the next charge move. Blaze Kick does secure the knockout. Back out comes Stun Fist. They're going to fire off the Mud Bomb. I am going to commit my final shield. The opponent now pivots out into Knocked Out. And unlike the last battle, where Knocked Out did wreck us, we fire off the Brave Bird on the CMP. Get absolutely wrecked, you stupid owl. Back out comes Stun Fist. And Blazikin again sweeps. Moving on to the next one. Another Vigaroth lead. So again, we say switch into Donphan. The opponent answers with Knocked Out. I actually tried to fire on CMP. I'm getting so much stutter lag. What the heck is going on? The opponent fires off the Sky Attack. I've got no intention of shielding this up. Either way, we are going to be able to get to the next charge move. The opponent wanting to maintain alignment. Shield the first body slam. Donphan does some chip damage with the second. Again, shield advantage is great for me. We can come into Hippo. They can throw whatever they like, even a Shadow Ball, won't do too much. We're going to then Ice Fang farm them all the way down. Switch timer pops up and we're spamming out into Blazikin. The opponent's got Pidgeot in the back. Pidgeot, in theory, should counter Blazikin, but it absolutely doesn't when you've got two shields. The opponent doesn't shield that up. This is definitely a feather dance. However, I am going to shield this up. We can then counter farm them all the way down. Lowering my attack was actually better, as I think that allows me to make this Blaze Kick. Blaze Kick should be pressuring the final shield, which it does. Hippo gonna get its redemption. We've been beaten by a few Vigaroths. We fire on CMP. We do lose that. However, I've still got a shield. I shield up the body slam, and Earth Power gonna be returning this little monkey to its Pokeball. Get wrecked, trainer. Moving on to the next one. This is what we want to see. I built this team looking to see Pidgeot in the lead, and that's what we see. The opponent sends out Vigaroth. I was a bit slow to the switch, however, I can still shield once. I'm going to counter farm them all the way down, and then when Pidgeot does return, it's going to be giving up shields. Because this silly pigeon is not bulky whatsoever, and Blazikin hits like an absolute truck. They send out Pidgeot, and I'm going to fire off the first Blaze Kick. Is the opponent willing to shield? Yes, they are. We're at the second Blaze Kick, and this is going to do pretty decent damage. It's going to leave Pidgeot super low. They actually double shield. I wasn't expecting that, but we are going to take it. I highly doubt the opponent baits, but I am going to call it. The opponent full sends the Brave Bird. We send out Donphan. It's Obstagoon in the back. I'm just going to shield up this Cross Chop or Night Slash. We're going to be able to counter farm them all the way down, and we're going to have to double body slam the silly little bird and take this game. Back out comes Pidgeot. They're about 3 away from a move. We're at the first body slam. That gets them super low. We're at the second body slam, and this is going to be all she wrote. Let's go. Moving on to the next battle. We see Mancargo in the lead. We've got 2 better responses in the back. We actually simul swap Donphan into Vigaroth. This is pretty good, as Donphan has the higher attack stat, and we're using the same moveset. We're both going to take 5 counters to the body slam. The opponent shielded the first. I am going to match shields. The opponent is going to be forced to shield the second as well. I could maintain alignment, however Blazikin doesn't operate particularly well with no shield. So if the opponent shields, which they do, I'm just going to take myself shield advantage. Despite the Hippo running Ice Fang, both Rock type Weather Wall and Earth Power will be hitting Mancargo for super effective. I'm spamming out into Blazikin. The opponent's got Trevenant in the back. We get to the Blaze Kick. Blaze Kick, unfortunately, even from a Shadow, doesn't one-shot. The opponent doesn't reach the Shadow Ball. This is just a Seed Bomb. And fuck it, I'm going to save my shield for the Hippo. Seed Bomb doesn't one-shot us. We counter farm down, back out. Comes Mancargo. We're going to fire off the Blaze Kick for some chip damage. I think that doesn't really matter. I probably should have just took the counter, to be honest. But either way, this game is now unlosable. The opponent probably going to fire off the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb will be debuffing us. However, that is not going to save this opponent's fate. Rock type Weather Ball to the face. Get wrecked, Snail. Moving on to the next one. Hippo into Donphan, a great lead. The opponent sees we're on Ice Fang, and then they pivot out into Vigaroth. So you already know what's up. You're going to see so many Vigaroth safe switches, so I recommend running the Shadow Blazikin. I don't actually think the regular can one-shield and farm all the way down. Shout out Yasser, I watched his video. He was saying Blazikin's pretty good. The Shadow's even better, because that allows me to do that. Back out comes Donphan. They shield up the first Blaze Kick. We make Blazikin number 2. If the opponent doesn't shield, they're going to be left super low. The opponent lets it go. We Simul KO, and the opponent says, fuck that, I'm out of here. Moving on to the next one. Shadow and Shadow Crime Hippo into Nidoqueen. The opponent sends out Dubwol. We answer with Blazikin. The opponent full sends the Wild Charge. We're going to easily counter farm this all the way down. The opponent obviously gave us minimal farm. However, Blazikin still got a lot of energy. We fire off the first Blaze Kick. The opponent shields the first. I'm looking to reach the Brave Bird. I get scared, settle for a Blaze Kick. Blaze Kick does go unshielded. They jab us all the way down. Hippo can tank an Earth Power. Even a Shadow. It's going to hurt, but we will survive. Earth Power does a lot. We send out Donphan and its Vigaroth in the back. It looks like I got the one turn. I'm unable to CMP tie him. I am going to shield up the Body Slam. I'm then going to look to throw on CMP the second time. The opponent's going to have to shield this as they've got no health on that Nidoqueen. I believe this is going to take us out. However, our Hippo should be able to Ice Fang, farm them down. We've got more health than they have. We do Ice Fang down and Nidoqueen is going to die to one Ice Fang and Hippo this time sweeps. Moving on to the next one. Yet another monkey lead. We pivot into Donphan. The opponent stays in. We look like we got a 0 turn switch. We win CMP. Body Slam goes unshielded. And likewise, I'm not going to shield this up either. Body Slam won't knock out. The opponent switches out into Pidgeot, not wanting to get farmed down. Body Slam going to be doing some nice chip damage as Pidgeot is so glassy. Just the counters and the Body Slam have got them into the yellow. This Pidgeot is now switch locked. They're only going to make one move. So I imagine they're going to full send the Brave Bird. As they've got hardly any health on that Vigaroth, I'm going to take 2 versus 1. They send the Brave Bird, giving me minimal farm. However, we've got 2 healthy Pokemon and a shield versus whatever they got in the back and that low health Vigaroth. They actually send out Unova Stunfisk. I am mindful the opponent is going to attempt to catch. There's the attempted catch. We farm down. And I think at this stage, I'm just going to fast move, beat him down. I've got no intention of throwing a charge move. The opponent fires off the Mud Bomb. That doesn't take us out. This next one's still not going to take me out. The opponent actually 5-heads, throwing the discharge, anticipating me trying to catch. No train. I'm just going to fast move, beat you all the way down. You can save them shields for next season. Moving on to the next one. Hippo into Blazikin, not fantastic. We pivot into Donphan. The opponent fires off the Blaze Kick. I shield it up. They now pivot out into a Flyer. Donphan going to be doing what Donphan does best and spam out Body Slams. This is actually a purified Gligar and this thing is incredibly bulky. You can see 2 Body Slams don't do a whole heap of damage. The opponent can't wing attack farm us all the way down, so they're going to be forced to throw a charge move. Night Slash does take us out. We're down a shield though, so this could get tricky. We send out the Hippo, we Ice Fang farm them all the way down and pivoting out into Blazikin. What's that final Pokemon? You're about to see it's a pretty cool team. The opponent sends out Gliscor. So pretty cool team, and I think this is just GG's for me. I fire off the Blaze Kick. The opponent shields it up. I need to make the second. We get wing attack farmed all the way down. Blazikin is going to be able to reach a Brave Bird. So I'm going to call the Night Slash and the opponent full sends the Earthquake. Well played. Moving on to the next one. Another Vigaroth leads. We pivot into Donphan. And again, we see a Gliscor. So evidently, if I run this team in a different order, I think we'd be in a good spot. But I can't complain as I seem to be pretty much winning like 80% of games. Night Slash, not going to be lethal. Donphan, so spammy. Going to be able to reach the second Body Slam. This also not going to KO, but is going to get super low. The opponent does wing attack farm us all the way down. But again, Donphan putting in so much work. Gaining a shield advantage. I wait out my timer. Send in the Hippo. The opponent only at a Night Slash. Easy tank. It's going to be 2 shield Blazikin versus the world. The opponent going to fire off the Body Slam. We will commit a shield here. The opponent's final Pokemon is knocked out. We're going to fire off on CMP. Blaze Kick is either going to do big damage or draw the final Protect Shield. The opponent gives me that shield. And now I learned from my previous mistake where I committed both shields and then Vigaroth outpaced me. So we put all our faith in the Hippo. Can we one shield and farm all the way down? The opponent looking to get to back-to-back moves. They're not at it. They're only 1 Ice Fang away from death. Actually 2, but either way, it doesn't matter. We leave with the Earth Power. And unlike earlier in the video, this time, we beat this team comp and take the dub. So I think the moral of the story is if you lose a battle, you need to see what you did wrong and then rectify it next time. So those were the battles. You can see another 4-on-1 set. I think I went 18-7. Overall, this team was so good. Really good anti-meta team. So if you want to get through your battles quickly on Go Battle Day, try this one out. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on the channel, link to my battle submission form is down below. And I'll see you all in the next one.